everyone, it's Amanda. Happy January. Today I'm going to be doing my TBR for the month and also going over some goals that I have. If goals bore you to tears, then I will leave a timestamp of when I start talking about the actual books that I want to read this month. But be sure to like, subscribe down below if you love romance books like me. I'd love to have you here for 2024, and let's just get into it. So January, happy new year. I have a ton of videos coming your way this month and I'm really excited about them all, and that's part of my goals for 2024. Obviously, I kind of fell off on making consistent content in 2023, and I'm giving myself grace in that area just because of how busy everything was. But I also will be honest and say I lost my passion for it and really just felt down about what I was doing, what I was reading as well. And so that kind of translated into me not wanting to make content either and just being really, really negative about it. I just was in such a funk, but I'm trying to get out of that. I planned on doing 3 videos a week this month, so prepare to be sick of me, but I just wanted to start off the year creating that habit of consistently filming. And you know, 21 days to make a habit, I feel like after you just start doing that again, it will come naturally again in February and so on. But yeah, that's the goal for this channel. In my personal life, I really want to start waking up early and doing something for myself. So whether that be reading or something, or making breakfast that's healthy instead of just drinking coffee only and not actually eating. I am very bad about that. I have very, very bad eating habits, and that looks for me like not eating all day until dinner and then eating a bunch at dinner time, and it's just not good. It's not healthy for me, and I need to fix that. So that's one of the things that I think will really help. And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna work out every day because that just seems like something not to put into the universe right now, but I do just want to start at least getting up early and deciding what I want to do. I'll probably choose to hit the snooze button, but the choice was there nonetheless, okay? Then as usual, I've said this every year, but drink more water. I am simply a girl who is constantly dehydrated, no matter how many Stanley Cups, whatever the fad is in the water bottle world that I get, nothing can make me drink water. I'm so bad at it. I just get too busy. And that's my honest excuse, because I'll get a water, I'll get a nice ice cold one, maybe even put some lemon in it, and I still will ignore it and start like doing something because I just need to be going unless I'm rotting in bed. I'm setting my Goodreads goal to 100 books again this year. I didn't hit it in 2023, but I know that I will in 2024. Then we have one that correlates to everything: work-life balance. I would like to focus less on work after work. I am one of those people that's just like an anxious person and also very work-driven. And so after work, I'll be thinking about work, I'll be replying to emails, I'll be thinking of new ideas, thinking of new things to do, new projects, blah, 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 blah. I need to chill, because it does end up hindering my reading and my ability to make content because I'm always in work mode, and I just want to tone that back just a little bit. It doesn't have to be all the way. I know that I'm not gonna change as a human being. I do also have a lot of work goals, but I won't bore you with all of that jazz. But yeah, I think that's most of the goals that I have. I'm just keeping it simple this year. I want to start a family. I don't know if it's going to be this year or maybe into next year, but whatever happens, happens, you know? So, and then next year I'll probably be a little more stressed about it because I do want to start a family before I'm 30, and I'm turning 27 this Sunday. So I have like 3 years to contemplate that. So either way, I'm pretty excited for the new year. Let me know any of your goals down below. I love to get inspiration from other people's. But let's just dive into what I want to read this month. So this month I have quite a few reading vlogs planned. One of them is going to be a fantasy romance reading vlog, and the first book is going to be Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This book is the second book to Divine Rivals that I just spoke about in my top reads of 2023, and I hope this one is a top read of 2024. Start off the year strong, but this is going to be the first book that I pick up and I'm really, really, really excited. And after that cliffhanger from Divine Rivals, I'm even more like, I need to pick this up right now. If you didn't know what Divine Rivals is about, it has a war between gods, two writers that end up on the front lines of this war, and a love story. Then we have Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This book is one I meant to get to in 2023 when I first bought it, but then I saw some negative reviews come out and I was like, I don't want another flop. So I'm doing it for the reading vlog and hopefully I like it. I heard that it has very heavy romance and spice, and so some of the complaints were about that. So I am like, maybe I'll love it because I am a romance reader. So perhaps this will be the perfect fantasy romance for my taste, but I haven't read any of the Kingdom of the Wicked series. I know you can read this one anyway without reading them, so that's what I'm going to do. We follow Prince Envy and Camila, I think her name is. I think it's enemies to lovers, and there's some type of game involved, so I am looking forward to the spice, at least in this book, and hopefully I end up liking the plot more than others. We'll see how it goes. Then I'll be reading Powerless, which I almost bought at Barnes & Noble the other day, but then I just didn't know if I would like it, so I'm going to read it on my Kindle. This one also has a game or competition aspect, so it should be really fun. It's compared to the Hunger Games in that way, but also it's its own thing. And I think we have another prince that hates people that don't have powers but ends up falling for a girl who has no powers. This one also had a lot of people saying that it had no fantasy and that it was a rom-com kind of plot. So that could either work for me or not. My taste in fantasy romance, I feel like I do like to have a lot of plot and action, so we'll see how I feel about those two, but I'm definitely looking forward to starting off the year with some fantasy romance. Then I'm going to be diving into Pam Godwin this month. I've been meaning to get to her books for so long and I just have been slacking. I put them on my TBR and then I don't read them, so I'm going to be doing a Pam Godwin vlog and hopefully end up loving her and reading some more of her books in the future. But for January, I'm going to start with Sea of Ruin, which this one's the Mystic Box copy. Gorgeous. I love this one. It's usually on display right behind me, but I put Haunting Adeline there instead for this video. But I am really excited to read this one. It has a historical romance kind of feel, and it has a love triangle, pirates, lots of spice, and it's a darker romance. So hopefully I love it because this copy is stunning and I really don't want to get rid of it. Next up is Dark Notes, which is a student-teacher taboo forbidden romance with a lot of darker elements to it. I've been meaning to read this for years. So it's been in my physical TBR for a while. Time to read it. I think I'll love it. I love the cover, and I also play the piano and that's in here, so I think I'll really like this one. And the last Pam Godwin is Deliver. This one is a huge bind up of a lot of the series, but this is a romance thriller and it's gonna be the darkest one I think out of those three. But it follows a guy who might have Stockholm syndrome, and there's trafficking and there's a lot of dark stuff going on, but I've heard really, really good things and I've been meaning to also get to this one. So I'm very happy to be doing this one in January and getting some of my physical TBR read. Then Classic Literature Book Club is back on the Rumi's Digest channel this month. We're going to be reading Moe's Pick, which is Book of Azrael. This is a fantasy romance. It has gods and slow burn and spice, and it's an enemies to lovers. So it should be really, really fun. We're going to kick off the new year with a fantasy romance. I'm really looking forward to being back with the girlies and having a great time. And then February will be my month and it's going to be dark romance. Then we have Never by Jessa Hastings. This is the Sugar and Spice Book Club pick. This book has a ton of discourse around it right now because it is a Peter Pan retelling that took a little bit too much inspiration from its original work and ended up having a lot of negative feedback, especially about race and age in this book. We have a love triangle, and I think some of the discourse is about the age range of the characters when they're having a romance. And then another one is the terms that the author used used in the book. She made a statement that it was taken from folklore, but intent doesn't always matter. So this one will be a good discussion, but we're pretty disappointed that the first pick has to have such a negative connotation. But hopefully it will have a good discussion, and that discussion will be on the last Tuesday of January on Sarah's channel. Then I have some hockey romances on the list for this month. I have Meet Your Match by Candy Steiner. This one is enemies to lovers. We have a girl who has kind of sworn off hockey players, but she ends up having to work with one. So it's kind of like Flawless by Elsie Silver, but in hockey form from what I can tell. We have that forced proximity from her having to follow him around. And I usually do like Candy Steiner's writing, so I've been waiting to get to this one. Then we have Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This one is one everyone has been talking about. It has similar tropes to Meet Your Match. It's roommates though. It's boss assistant and it's Grumpy Sunshine. So I'm really looking forward to getting into Stephanie Archer because I want to read the next book after this one, and I've just heard amazing things. Then we have Iced Out by C.E. Ritchie. This is a male romance that follows two superstitious hockey players that think they need to hook up in order to win games. So this should be really fun. C.E. Ritchie's books are really steamy. I wanted something thrown in there that was less rom-com and more spice. And then if I feel like adding in another one, I might do that, but I'm gonna start with 3. Then of course I must mention House of Flame and Shadow. I still need to finish House of Sky and Breath, so you might see that on my TBR for February as well. But if I have time to reread the Crescent City series up until House of Flame and Shadow, I will be reading it on release day, but I don't know if that'll happen. Then also if I have time, I would love to read Under Lock by Marina Zapata. I haven't read this one before, and this one just came in. I totally forgot I ordered it, but look how stunning she is. I love this. This is I don't even know what it is, actually. I have heard that this one is her least slow burn, so I'm pretty excited for it. I think we have a motorcycle player too. Then we have Torment by Dylan Page. I'm going to read the duet this month and vlog it in the dark romance reading vlog, and I'm pretty excited about it because it's dark romance step sibling trope. And I'm really looking forward to the emotional trauma that I'm going to be enduring because I've seen a lot of people crying their eyes out to these books. So sign me up for that. Then lastly, we have Take Me With You. This one is a kidnapper dark romance. It's on a lot of people's darkest romances list. I believe this deranged mailman character ends up wanting to kidnap this girl's friend or family or something where she offers herself instead. So those are all the books that I'm going to be reading in January. It's quite the list, but there's such a variety that I hopefully can get to them all and not get bored of one trope or one subgenre. Let me know down below what book you're most excited for, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!